It's Teppy Schwartzel from AridDesertDesigns.com, and I am a Stampin' Up, an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm here to do a card today that I think you will absolutely love. This is coming from our 2019 holiday catalog. I can show you the cover, but I can't show you any of the other pages in the catalog because it's not released to the general public until September the 4th. Now, you could possibly get this catalog before then if you were to become a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Becoming a Stampin' Up demonstrator does not mean that you have to sell anything. What it really does is it gives you a discount, a 20% discount, and right now they're running a special where for $99 you can buy the kit. The kit is anything that you want out of this holiday catalog or out of the 2019-2020 annual catalog. And as you can see, this catalog is huge. Again, the holiday catalog has got Christmas in it. It's got some Thanksgiving products. It's got Halloween. It's got New Year products, and they're just great products, and they're product coordination with regard to their papers and their pens and their inks is just incredible. I've been stamping a long time and I've never seen anything like it. But back to, if you wanted to become a demonstrator, for $99, you get to pick $155 worth of product out of either the annual catalog or the holiday catalog or both. Then after you become a demonstrator, that also includes free shipping. It will also give you a $10 coupon to purchase something in the month of September, toward a purchase in September. And then after you become a demonstrator, you will get 20% off on anything after that. You can buy anytime. If you want to sell the product, you can. There are going to be guidelines to follow, but everyone's there to help you. The group I'm in is fantastic. So if you want to become a demonstrator, please get in touch with me, contact me, go to my website, AridDesertDesigns.com, and there's a link on how to join. And all right, let's get to the product we're going to make today, the card. Okay, it is out of the 2019 Stampin' Up holiday catalog. I'm using two different. I'm using a suite and a bundle. A suite is where you get cardstock and you get the stamps and dies and paper and embellishments. The particular suite that I'm using Feels Like Frost suite, and I'm also using some stamps from the Itty Bitty Christmas bundle because I'm using stamps and a die from the Itty Bitty Christmas bundle. Now, I will take the catalog out here, and this is the card that we're going to be making today, Celebrate the Season. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a really shimmery glitter that I've used to give some depth to the front of the card. And then here's the inside of the card. I've changed up the inside of the card on the demonstration today. Wasn't exactly happy with this, but it still is beautiful. Okay, let's get going, and I will tell you what you need. The other thing is I will give dimensions to here, but they will also be provided when this video is posted. Okay, so first of all, you will need a This is called Night of Navy cardstock, and it is 4¼ by 11 inches, and I've scored it at 5½. And we also have 2 pieces of Whisper White. The larger piece of Whisper White is for the outside of the card, and it is 4⅛ inches by 5�3/8 inches. The smaller piece of Whisper White is for the inside of the card, and it is 4 inches by 5¼ We'll also be using this beautiful designer series paper. There's 2 sides to this paper. There are 48 pieces of 6 by 6 inch cardstock, and they have all kinds of gorgeous different patterns. This one I have chosen to cut down to 3 15/16 and by 5¼ Okay, and I have also in the die set, here is the die that I used. It's absolutely gorgeous. Here are the dies, and this is the die. This is the die that I used for this particular die cut. Okay, again, this is everything that would be included in there's the bundle called Itty Bitty Christmas bundle. This is the rest of the bundle. These are the stamps, and these are red rubber stamps. They give a really crisp image when you're stamping. And then I used, this is from the Feels Like Frost suite. I used this particular stamp. Okay. And I used some of the rhinestones from Rhinestone Basic Jewels, but we'll show you that in a little bit. Okay. So first off, let's get our stamping done. Oh, and you'll also need, this was done with a scrap of Whisper White paper, and then you'll need another scrap of Whisper White paper, and it's going to be for the sentiment down here at the bottom. I have also used the ice stamping glitter. It's very, very sparkly, and this is the ribbon that we're going to be using. It's absolutely gorgeous. The ribbon is called Seaside Spray Metallic Ribbon. And then I also used Shimmer Crystal Effects. Now what this is sort of like a glue, but it also, if you use it just as a glue, it dries very shimmery. But what I decided to do was put it on, I put it on the snowflake die, and then I also put it on some of the images on the designer series paper, and then I put the glitter on that. Okay, let's get to making the card. Okay, first off, I like to get my stamping done and get that out of the way. Set that aside. And I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus, which is absolutely godsend for me because I am not really good at stamping, even though I've been doing it a long time. Now, we have 2 different types of stamps. We have the red rubber stamps and we have the photopolymer stamps. The photopolymer stamps are clear. And with the Stamparatus, you get magnets that will hold your cardstock down. Do not let them snap together because you will either lose a finger or they will break. The other thing that comes in the Stamparatus is this piece of black foam. Now, this black foam is to be used with the photopolymer. When you're using the red rubber, you stamp without this foam, this black foam piece. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my and the reason these are here is because I was making a bunch of cards and I had an odd shape piece of paper I was working with. So in order for me to get the sentiment straight on it, I had to devise a way to keep it in place. Okay, so here we go with, I'm just going to line this up with the lines. The grid lines are wonderful. Now it's just a bigger piece of paper, and then I'll cut it down because I'm going to use one of our punches also. Now, first off, I'm going to put a magnet here and a magnet over here. All right, now, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line this up, and then you're going to gently put the cover down, and it will pick that stamp up. That stamp has some adhesive on the back of it. Now we're going to use Stampin' Up's Night of Navy ink. I love these pads because the lids don't get lost. Everything is attached. Okay, so you just lightly tap. And the thing about the Stamparatus is if it doesn't ink everything entirely the first time, you've always got a second chance, or a third if you even want that. Okay, just gently push it down. I hold it down for a couple of seconds, let the ink kind of soak into the paper, and pull it up. Absolutely perfect. Now, if I wanted to do it again, if I had missed a spot in inking or whatever, I could go back, and this is what's so phenomenal about this product. You just put it back down. It's a light touch. Perfect every single time. Absolutely love my Stamparatus. And then I'm going to use my Simply Chamois to clean off my stamp right away. And what this is, you just wet it with water and it takes all the ink off. The only ink that it doesn't take off is stays on. That stuff stays on forever. Okay, so we're done with that piece, with stamping that piece. And then we're going to stamp the inside. And the inside is, where did I put my paper? Oh, where? Of course, it's right in front of you, Teppy. Okay, so we're using the larger size for outside of the card. Okay, again, I'm just going to line it up on the grid lines here. These magnets are really strong. I just like to get it on the lines. It seems to make it easier to get the stamp straight. Okay, now where's my other sentiment? Oh, I decided to put it on there. Okay, here's the other sentiment I'm going to use. Like I said, this is for the inside. It's Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and that is also part of the Itty Bitty Christmas bundle. Okay, I'm going to stamp that up here. I have to stand up for a second and just make sure it's straight. Sorry about that. Okay. Again, I'm going to use Night of Navy. Ink it up. Perfect. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is, there's a background stamp that I put on there. And the way I did that is, where are you? Here you are. Okay, now you're going to say, oh my God, she's going to stamp over it. Well, no. I'm going to put this down. Pick it up. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to ink it. And then I'm going to, what we call it is ink it off twice, okay? I put a piece of just regular copy paper down, and I'm going to ink off once, This I don't care about, and twice. And what that does is now you've got a different color of ink, even though you're using the same ink pad. Now watch how this falls behind the sentiment. And it has also increased your ability to use the same color of ink, because now you actually have a different color of ink. And there you have it. Now the inside of your card is done. And we are done with the Stamparatus. Let me just clean my stamp off here. Okay. We are done with that. Okay, now we're going to bring our base card back in here. And in using a bone folder. I have already scored this, like I said, at 5.5. And then use your bone folder to get a nice, crisp fold, okay? And that's all there is for that. This is the interior. And just gonna glue that down. Get that out of the way. And you do not need a lot of glue. And I like to use the liquid glue. I'm better at, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. You get to move it around if you're not haven't quite placed it right. I like to put the paper horizontal to me. And then if you can get the 3 sides, the top and the 2 sides in the right spot. Oh, shoot. Did I use the wrong one? Oh, shoot. Okay, well, let's just leave that. I'm going to have to cut another piece of paper because I used the wrong sheet. It's the smaller one that's supposed to go on the inside. So bear with me for a second, and I will cut the sheet for the outside of the card. Doesn't matter. The inside of the card's going to just be a little bit bigger. Okay? All right. Bear with me. We all make mistakes, believe me. Okay. Okay. Again, the outside Whisper White, sorry about that mistake. The outside Whisper White is going to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then the Designer Series paper is going to be 3 15/16 by 5 1/4. Usually don't attach this, especially since we're going to be putting ribbon on this. It's, before you do everything else. I'm going to just put that out of the way, put the card base out of the way, and sorry, I'm just going to get a little sip of water. Okay, now I'm going to use my paper snips here, and I'm just going to cut off, of course, and I'm just going to cut off a little bit of this end here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut off a little bit of this end, but I'm going to leave it a little bit longer. And I'm going to put it in my banner triple punch. And unlock it here. You'll put your sentiment in, and you're going to go all the way up to where your sentiment is, and then pull it back, and now you have this cute banner. Okay, so first of all, we're going to use the shimmery crystal effects. And what we're going to do is, oh, that came over a little too far, didn't it? Oh well. we'll have to just do something different here. Okay, going to just put this on. I'm putting this on these little stems or branches or whatever you want to call them. It doesn't have to be on every one of them. And I'm only doing the ones that are in the foreground. And I would also have some copy paper available, because this is glitter, and glitter gets messy. So I'm just going to fold my paper in half here. And put my designer series paper there, and take the glitter and just tap it onto where you put the glue, or in the general vicinity. Okay. Okay, and just tap it off. And I don't know if you can see how glittery and shiny that is. There's a spot in the middle. I'm just gonna put some glue in there and get that spot in the middle. Looks a little, whoops, wrong glue. See, we all make mistakes. Doesn't matter. Most of them you are able to correct. Okay, so we're just gonna come back in with the glitter. Tap it off. And put it back in your jar. Now, we're going to let that dry a little bit. And then what we're going to do is bring our snowflake die cut. And again, we're going to take the shimmery crystal effects, and we're just going to go over spots on the snowflakes. Doesn't have to cover the whole thing. Just bigger areas, or if you want it to cover the whole thing, that's totally up to you. It's whatever you decide. And then the glitter is gonna stick wherever you got the shimmery effects. And if the glitter misses, this shimmery crystal effects does have a glitter to it, so you're still gonna get some shine. Again, be on your copy paper, sprinkle it onto your die cut. On this, you might want to tap it down just a little bit. Doesn't have to be hard, just so that make sure it gets in there. I've got a pair of tweezers I'm going to use. Now I'm going to tap this off, and I'm going to see where the glitter has gone and see if I need to put any more on. I think I'm going to put a little bit more on. Again, more of the shimmer effects, glue. Again, this is up to you, how much you want to put on, how much you don't want to put on. It depends on what effect you're going after and how much bling you like. Okay. And notice, I mean, you use very little of this. Again, tap it down, put it back in your jar. Save it for a rainy day. So now you're all done with that. Get this out of the way. Okay, now, put that away. Now I am going to attach my die. When I cut this other card, I forgot, I purposely cut it all on one side so that I could get that image further off to the left. And you know what? Again, we all make mistakes, and I'm just going to live with it and just work around it. And that's all you can do. I could start all over again. It's no big deal. Again, and where are my Stampin' Dimensionals? There they are. Okay. Now, I am going to use my multi-liquid purpose glue. And then just decide where you want to put it. I mean, we could even cut this apart. Let's do that. Okay. Let's cut this apart. Okay. You can put this up like this. Oh, perfect. Look at that. And put this over here. So now you've got a different design. And let's put that like this. This is fantasy. You can do whatever you want, any way you want it. And again, let's do this. I think I'm going to cut this one off. And we're going to put this one, yeah, let's cut that off. I don't like that. Put that up here. Look at that. See? Mistakes happen, and guess what? There's always a way to fix it. So let's get our multi-purpose glue out and start gluing the back. Oops. And there she goes again with 400 pounds of glue. I am not good at gluing on TV. When I do this off camera, I don't have a problem. But every time I'm on camera, it just comes flowing out of the bottle. So that, just know that that happens to everyone. And again, you don't have to have this everywhere. You don't have to glue it everywhere. And don't worry, that glue's going to dry clear. Okay. Get this one glued down. One more, and then we'll be able to put the ribbon on. And this glue gives you enough work time that if you have to move something, you can move it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and glue this to the whisper white piece for the outside of the card. Again, another one of my mistakes, but we all learn from our mistakes. Yeah, no, you're on camera. You're going to have mistakes. Just go with them. And again, I'm going to put my paper parallel to my body. It just seems to be easier for me. I can get it lined up, and then it just seems to fit in place. And if you have to move it, it's very little that you have to move. There you go. When you've got it in place, then kind of push it down a little bit. And it's going to take a little bit for this the glue on these to draw, the crystal shimmery glue, whatever it's called. I don't know. Okay, now the ribbon. The ribbon was, where is that? I used about 4.5 inches. And usually what I do is I use regular clear tape. And you decide where you're going to put your sentiment and your ribbon. And I'm just going to take, like I said, I used about 4.5 inches on the last one. I'm just going to put it on this ribbon. Put it on the card where you think you want to put it. And wrap it around. You've got the Whisper White and the Designer Series paper. That's why you don't want to attach it to the base of your card yet, because you want it to go around these 2 pieces of paper. So I like that. Just cut it off in the back. Get another piece of tape. There you go. All taped up. And I would also put the sentiment on before you put it to the base of the card. Now we're using the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and these are the edge pieces. Don't go stick it to my thing. Everything on your Stampin' Dimensionals is usable. Everything. This is how they come. Pack like this. These are the mini dimensionals, but you see all this back over here, all the outside, you can still use that. It has adhesive on it, so go ahead and use it. I'm going to use 3 dimensionals, one for the end and one for the center. It just so it gives the center of the card, so it doesn't sag. I'm having a real hard time today, folks. Sorry. And yes, when you're stamping, everything becomes a mess. Just tear off the backs of the dimensionals. And I have a little problem there. I had a little dog fight after we moved here, and my thumb got caught in the way of a dog bite, and it was not a pretty sight. There was blood everywhere. Now we're just going to center, and put the sentiment off to the side, put it in the center. You put it wherever you want. Then press those down. Make sure it's where you want it before you go pressing it down too hard. Okay? Now we're just going to take our liquid glue and glue the back of this and glue it to the front, the base of our card. Again, putting the card horizontal to my body. It just makes it easier for me. You might find another way, and if you've got another tip, please share it. That's what we're all about here, is sharing. There you go. One more thing is rhinestone. Again, you can put as few or as many on as you want. And these are the rhinestones, and I'm trying to find my pick tool, and I am not seeing it today. Well, oh, there it is. It's hiding. Okay. And I'm using one of the bigger ones. These backs have glue on them, so they're very easy to pick up and put down. There you go. All done. 2 different cards. So again, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you want. And if things change, just go with the flow and it will all work out. Thank you so much. Again, don't forget, if you want to become a demonstrator, it's $99 for the kit. You will get $155 worth of product. and it's free shipping. Plus, you'll get a $10 coupon to be able to use it in September on any purchase that you might have with Stampin' Up. This offer is only good until August the 31st, so we only have 7 more days until this offer goes away. So please like and share, and check out my website. I will have this video up soon, and all the products will be linked. And I hope to see you soon, and thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.